Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live from the Ministry League studios in North Georgia, each week with John the Professor Podein and Paul Superman Spurlin, and with producer Caleb Sampson behind the glass on the Ministry League Network. And on all your other favorite platforms, here with all your ministry talk and the latest in news and sports. It's the John and Paul Show live.
Welcome to the John and Paul Show, brought to you by the Ministry League. Everything on social media is Ministry League. I am Paul Spurlin. With me here, as always, when we're together, is John Podein, and this is the show.
Wow, that has been built up for like a year, hasn't it, Paul? It's like you just screamed everything all at once here and said, "Oh, we're going to do this again. Here we go." And it's just all that strain and stress has finally been released.
I feel good about it.
Yeah.
It's been a while, John, and I'm just glad that we're back, and I'm glad that we're it's all going on, and folks, just know life hasn't stopped for us. It has been It's been raining down summertime, and that's been crazy.
Yeah, Paul, the whole last year has been crazy. Let's be honest with you. Probably since our last show, it has been nuts. But that's ministry. That's what happens when you're out and busy and not lazy preachers or ministers or whatever else. And so just going and going.
Yeah. So obviously a lot of things happened over the past summer, the past year. It seems like I can't remember the last time we were out here, but we are back, and we are back in business. John is in the northern part of North Georgia. I'm a little farther south of him, and so he's in Calhoun. I'm in Marietta, and we bring you this ministry show from Ministry League, and want to make sure do a shout out to them. Shout out to the Calhoun Church of Christ and Piedmont Road Church of Christ. Thank our guys for allowing us to do this and for being here with us. We've done a lot. It's been a big summer, but we're also got a couple of big things coming up, John, too. I say couple, three or four.
Yeah, it's all rolling in here. I mean, honestly, it hasn't stopped. Our joke that we've always said when we moved to Georgia was kind of to slow down a little bit from all these different things we're doing. It hasn't. It's picked back up. It's busier than probably any other time in both of our ministries that we've been able to do things. But you know what that means? Things are getting done for the Lord. I know things locally at both of our places are going well. Mm-hmm. And we're working hard with those. We have some of our things that we have been doing. You'll hear things in the next, definitely the next few weeks and months, especially leading up to Exposure, because that's coming up here pretty soon. What else, Paul? We got Rush at Freed Hardeman. That's coming up.
And we have September experience in Scotland as well.
Yeah, and then that's kind of where we're getting ready to head off here to do that one in about a week. Yeah.
In fact, today is Thursday, so as of yesterday, but a week from now. So we'll in fact, let's see, what time is it?
Right around now, we'll be close. We'll be in Glasgow right now.
We're heading that way. Yeah,
a week from now. Mm-hmm.
So basically, the event we do in Atlanta, here at Marietta, actually at Piedmont Road, the Ministry League Experience is what we're going to be doing over there. All ages, that kind of event on the island of Millport. And right, not too far from Glasgow, hour and a half. And so we are looking forward to that, and got a few folks going with us, and some folks there that are waiting on us. And so we're looking forward to that time, and see Graham and the crew and everybody, and learning different ways of doing ministry, and learning how that it affects us in so many different ways in so many different areas. And so it's exciting times.
It is. And that's one thing that we have learned, this with Scotland, this has been 2 years in the making of building up to this, understanding that some of the challenge we have, even in cultures that are similar to ours, but are different and still different and have different ways, and understanding that there are different ways to do ministry and to be able to interact with people. I think that's one of the things since we've started these little, events in other places that I know that it's helped me grow even in my work here, Paul, and I'm sure you could say the same thing, is understanding there's different ways to reach people for Christ and with the gospel. And so that's one thing I'm excited about. We're excited about. This is going to hopefully be a building event for the church in Scotland. One thing we've been hearing, especially when we talked to Graham, was it last week we talked to Graham? We don't think about this, but they are legitimately still just coming out of their COVID lockdown within this last year or so. Wow. And so there's a lot of apathy, just like in the church here in the States, we've dealt with a little bit after our lockdowns and different things. Well, they were locked down for a couple of years. And so they're just starting to experience that. And there's a lot of apathy there. So we're hoping that this will help build the church and build some cohesiveness and unity there.
Right. The work we did, even in London, back in 19, and then the revisit last year, we were able to do that and go back and see where they were, where they actually, it seems like they're just back.
Yes.
There was a struggle to that point, but about this time last year that they had just gotten back and the building was almost full. And of course, that's when we met up with the Freed Hardeman group. Was excited to be with them and to see things happening and back to it. And so that was really cool. So these trips we make, they're definitely working trips, and we're looking forward to the next one.
And I think that's one of the things too. I don't know about you, but I enjoy going to other places here in the States and you may run into people you may know, or just even if you're just stopping, say you're traveling through on a Sunday night and you're stopping through and attending worship or something like that somewhere, or a Sunday morning, whatever it may be, meeting people. It's interesting and enjoying of seeing these people and hopefully we can come over and there's something that happens when that happens. It's not that anybody's even doing anything special. It's just meeting fellow Christians from other places in the world. And it's kind of, it's a boost to the system. And that's what we're hoping, I think, especially with what we're about to do with the Ministry League experience in Scotland.
Right. And it's funny because when people find out we're going there, they're like, oh, do you know Graham, or do you know them, or do you know that? It's just like, yeah, we're going to see you. We'll be there with them. It's because their contact is really vast. Around our part of the United States. And so it's kind of neat, like you said, the relationships you build and the connections you have simply because of a congregation you go to or some work you get to do with some people. And that's something we're looking forward to. It's going to be a great time, and looking forward. We're going to have classes. We'll have classes for the young children, K-5, and then we'll have classes for the teenagers and also for adults. John and I will be mixed in there somewhere with Dale. Doing some things. Les Sandifer, one of our members here at Piedmont Road, will be with us and then do some things as well. And so we're excited. Steph, Gail, Charlotte, the whole team is going and looking forward to making that impact. And it's gonna be good.
Yeah, and one thing that we're doing too, Paul, we didn't want to make this all an American thing. We're actually blending and mixing with some of their local people that they have. I mean, we've talked about this before on the show. Is about 14-ish churches of Christ on the whole country of Scotland, and we're even getting some from the British and the British part of Great Britain and England, and they're coming up to be a part of it. And I think that's just that is a beauty that's there, and we're going to get a mix together and talk to people and see that their struggles, that what they may have that's unique to them versus what we may have, but then ultimately we still have the same gospel, we still have the same Savior, we still have the same Lord, and mix together. And that's what I love about this, to be able to interact. And and you said something a second ago, it's not just for the teenagers. Originally we were kind of looking at it more of an exposure-ish type event, and then when we got over there talking to them, they're like, we need this for the whole church. Yeah. And so that's why we got from young kids even to the adults. And so it's going to be kind of like a giant family retreat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And there's certainly some unique things. We're definitely staying in a unique location for this. And so we're excited about that. We're also excited about the fish and chips. What's funny is all you gotta do is go to Captain D's, but it's different there.
It is. Their fish is like the size of people's shoes. Arms, yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, it's an experience, that's for sure. And,
one thing I wanted to add to this, Paul, too, because I know we've got lots of people who are going to be watching this, probably going to be like, oh, they're back. Okay. I do want to say this. Thank you to everybody who helped donate to make this happen. We are getting this to a point where we didn't want this to have to be on the Scottish people because, quite frankly, especially with COVID, their funds are extremely tight. And we are extremely blessed here in our country. And some people have been extremely blessed to help do it. There's there's some congregations, a couple of people who have made this possible, who basically has paid for our location that we're going to have this, so that the people in Scotland don't have to worry about, well, I can't afford this. Mm-hmm. To be able to pull this off. And so I want to say, and we want to say thank you for that. If you help participate in the givings to help make this event possible, especially for those people. I mean, we're paying for a lot of our stuff on our own, but they needed this, and they needed some help. And so thank you for churches and people in America for being that bright light that have the ability to do that.
Man, that's a great point. I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, I don't know what else to say at this point, because it does. The folks at Exposure Youth Camp and the folks, and you know who you are if you've made donations, and that's the thing too, that keeps us alive as a program too.
Yep.
As Ministry League, with the website, the app, so many followers. We really appreciate all that. Your continuous downloading of what we have, and even some of the opportunities there that go with that, and some of the bumps in the road that go with that. We'll talk about that in a minute, but it means so much. You're being there, and I think we need to also say thank you to Faulkner, to Freed Hardeman, to Heritage Christian, for being those mainstays for us as far as a sponsor, for the app itself, but also in some of the events we do as well. It means a lot. And just to echo and say what John just said there, you've helped to make this become a reality for folks over there. And we're hoping that years on in, this will continue to go and continue to give them the pump up that they need to get there.
That's one thing, when we talked with Graham especially the other day, and Graham's had a lot of going on in his family too. And we need to be praying for him and his family and his son, Elijah, having some medical things that he's going through. Was you could just see Graham's, because ministry work and all those who are in ministry, how tough it is. And sometimes you feel like you're on an island, no pun intended, since we're going to an island, but you feel like you're on an island. And one thing that we said to him the other day was, not to be discouraged. And this is going to help revitalize and maybe re-kick in some of the people in Scotland for the work of the Lord. Paul, I think when we got some people watching this, one of the questions I know I get from time to time, and I think I'm going to let you handle this question to see what you think about it. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Why do this? Why do this and not when we have things here in the States that need work and done? Why do we go overseas and to other places? Because, yes, we've been in London. We were supposed to go to Germany, and then that happened and COVID happened. We're doing the Scotland thing. We've looked at some other places, one within the United States, actually. It's part of the United States. It may not continental, but it's part of the United States.
Yeah, you're right.
Why do we do this? Why go in other places around the world?
Wow, John, that's a great question. I think sometimes, especially within our part of the country, folks seem to sometimes feel like they have it figured out.
Yeah,
and sometimes the freshness of it all helps out. And of course, we had a relationship with Graham before all this came about, but there are other people that were contacting us through the app. That's the only thing. The app is a great vehicle for us, because we had contact through the Netherlands, as you mentioned, Germany, London, and other places, India, and other places, is asking if we can do that. The big thing is, especially here at Piedmont Road, this is where we host the event here in Georgia and the southeastern part of the United States, is you need to know this is the app unfolded. This is ministry unfolded, different classes all over the building to try to help you be more prepared for ministry. We don't claim to have all the answers, but we just go to the same book to find them, and the people that are doing things right. We're not going to ask somebody that knows nothing about technology to come in here and teach you how to do technology. This next year, we're going to have a class on finances. We're not going to bring somebody else that knows nothing about it. We want them to be able to help you budget things and do things for your church and for your home. We're going to bring professionals in to do this, and that's part of what it is. So a lot of these folks, they see the app, they see what's happening, and they say, how can we have that here? And like, well, let us come. And so we come there, we show them how this works. We set up the schedule. We set up how the format of it is, and the topics and the interactions that we're going to have this next week, and what we've had in London and other places. I think it is a little different. It's kind of Exposure Youth Camp. The whole thematic part of all of it is so different than any other event because of the relationship building, because of the things that we do. And I think that's what draws it. And if they're willing to let us come and show them how it works, the plan is set it out there, then they take it and go with it, and then we can go somewhere else. And it's not just a foreign thing. We'll go anywhere. Right. We'll go anywhere in the United States. We'll go anywhere in Georgia. We'll go anywhere. And so, in fact, I had a contact with somebody from Chattanooga asking about an event and doing things. I'm like, well, this is what you do. And in the next couple shows, we may actually line out how we do these things. There's some specific, some very simple startups on how to do events like this, but it's not don't do an event just for doing an event. Mm-hmm. Find a purpose and a reason. What is your why when it comes to what you want to communicate and share? And that's the big thing, is through the app, there's so many things we offer there. But the main focus is we just want to educate and help and equip people as easily as we can.
And I think that is the key of what you just said, of why we have, yes. And we're not, I don't know what's the word I want to say. We understand that we have been blessed because of a couple of events that we work in that has given us a vehicle to be able to go. Originally, it was Exposure that was the vehicle that created London in 2019, and opened up some of these doors, and just the opportunity to be able to go somewhere and to hear, we don't have something like this. What do we do? How do we do this? And we are blessed. We are so blessed in our country with wonderful works, and people are doing amazing things. I think back to when we went to Wembley originally in 2019, and we're not trying to Americanize anything. We're not trying to do anything, but it kind of opened some doors. And, I think back to, and I cannot remember the name of the congregation. Is it Stratford or something, that a member from Louisville is now attending out there from Louisville, Texas, when he was there with Jeff Jenkins. And he didn't want to Americanize it, but they asked for ideas. And he said, here's some of they're the biggest congregation of the Lord's body in the English area over there. And so it's not about, this is an American idea, or this is a Scottish idea, or this is a Thailand idea or an Indian idea. This is just different ways to be able to do the gospel. And like I said, we've looked at other places. We've been in contact where maybe possibly of a Jamaica. We've talked about here in the United States and possibly Alaska, of some other things. So it's given us a vehicle and an opportunity to be able to go and spread and say, hey, let's try to help, because look, as well as I do, the gospel needs to be shown forth many different places in this world. And when Jesus said go, he didn't say how. And so that's part of the reason that we have continued to do these things.
Yeah, I think, and you hit it just before, the we're not Americanizing things, especially when we go to foreign lands. That's the worst thing in the world you could do.
Yeah.
So if you're planning a trip, and I know that if you're planning a trip like this overseas or in a different country, I'm sure you've already done your homework, and you know this. You need to be in tune with the culture. Yep. What's acceptable, what's not acceptable. We literally went through sort of a training to make sure we don't say the wrong things or do the wrong things, whether from customs all the way to the pulpit.
Customs.
We won't have to, but what I'm saying is, in general, we need to be able to know what to say if the questions are asked. And prepare for those things.
That's a huge thing that you said. I was looking at something on X just the other day, and it was somebody from, I think, Germany, and he's here in America. And just the way our mindset is and how we think no pun intended, is so foreign to even Western countries like Germany or England or France or something like that. And so it is, that's where I know you and I learned, okay, we got to kind of step back here and absorb all of this and understand their way of thinking may not be our way of thinking, the way they go about doing things and just how they comprehend certain things and put things into action is not the same way that we do it. And we're loud Americans. Look, we are loud. The Americans are the most loudest people in the world. So there you go. And so sometimes that scares people. And so understanding that, and I know, like as I said earlier, that is what has helped me probably more in my ministry locally than anything else.
Well, yeah, for sure. And I think it continues to exude the importance of that contact of the people, and not going in there with guns blazing, or swords blazing, I should say.
Swords blazing, whatever. Yeah, you can't say guns over there. Sorry.
You can't do that at all. And that's just it. And it's even words. Even words are considered odd and weird that we would use as normal. So a lot of these things have to be thought through and vetted and prepared in doing that. And like you said, and then just on something else you mentioned earlier, there's a mixture of the Scottish preachers that will be speaking in addition to those of us that are going. But the intent was to make sure they're the majority of it, because next year we won't be there, and we want them to be able to run this and do this and do their thing. It will be somewhere else, and so I think it's good to have them and give them the I don't know if the platform is the right word, but the stuff that we have that we can share and give and offer and say, let's use it and go with it. That's the goal for sure.
Absolutely, and just knowing you're not alone out there.
That's right.
Oh, not alone out there. We are blessed that most places that people live, there's multiple congregations of the Lord's body where you live. If you're like Caleb, there's like 1,000 in the Florence area in Northwest Alabama. But that's a joke, haha. But
it's 104.
104. We'll see. There you go.
104,000.
104,000. That's great. Where in other countries, it's not like that, and so. It just gives us an opportunity. And so we are blessed, and we want to say thank you for everybody who's definitely helped contribute to making this possible. And this is where, I think we do have an ownership here in the United States and a what's the word? Responsibility to not pay for somebody else to do our ministry, but just like the people in Antioch when they were getting money together to send Paul and Barnabas out or whatever, to take care of people and take care of missionaries, and not just us. We go over, you got people that are in the field and stay over there their lives. So let's help support them as well.
Absolutely. Yes. And getting back to the app just for a minute, that's really the launching point for us. I don't know that we would have had this opportunity without it.
Sure.
Because people are using it, and we have people asking if we can put it in different translations of language. So that's something we're looking into. One thing while we're on this, though, and I kind of brought us back to the segue to this on purpose to be able to do this. We have had an issue over the past 6 months or so with our Android app. And that's not the problem of Ministry League. That was the problem with the Google Play Store. So if you have an Android or a Samsung or one of those other phones, we want to make sure and communicate with you that if you do not have an iPhone, you will need to go through the Amazon store to download the that other version of the Ministry League app. So it doesn't cost anything. I know that sounds weird, because if you have like the Fire, you usually have to go to the Amazon store to do all your stuff with that. This is the same deal. Go to the Amazon store if you have an Android, Samsung, and you'll be able to download the app that way. So a little different, but still free. And there it is. So hopefully that'll be helpful to those that are looking, because I know they are. Went to the Connect conference a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, maybe. And those questions came up. I knew they would, and we were ready for it. So good. Amazon stores where the other phone can be found as far as the software for that.
Absolutely. And, you mentioned Connect there. I want to say, take advantage. If you have some of these things around that are available to you, can I encourage you to take advantage of going to them? Got a bunch of people up at PTP right now. You had the Connect conference that had thousands of people sitting at it. You got different events. Go to some of these things and get that spiritual meat. And also being around other people that are fellow Christians, that's a shot in the arm. And so do what you can to build those relationships.
Good call. Now, on to ministry topic number 2. We don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but we know that some of you probably have questions. We're not here to give all the answers today, but we're going to tell you where to go to find those answers, and there'll be more information in coming weeks. And that is another event, well, 2 other events actually, that John and I are involved with, Ministry League is involved with, and that is Rush at Freed Hardeman. That is the 27th through 29th of September. The best way to register for that is to go online at fhu.edu and search for Rush to register your group, or just call the admissions office, and they will help you with that for Rush at Freed Hardeman. And so Hardis and John and I will be there, and maybe some more other Ministry League folks will be there to help out, and a slew of good teachers, some great keynotes, and we're going to be studying the crossroads opportunity. What happens in those points in your life that lead us to Jesus, and that's something we're looking forward to.
Absolutely. It's going to be an amazing event. Yes, we know that Freed, they're redoing. If you have been living under a rock and don't know anything, they're redoing Lloyd Auditorium, so it's going to be in the gym, but we're excited about that. We have a little experience with putting on events in a gym. Just a little bit. So we're excited about that. But then, of course, the other one that comes up after that is the big one, is Exposure Youth Camp. That registration will be opening October 1.
October 1. Exposure Youth Camp. Go to eyc.camp, and there you go.
Yeah. Look at Caleb's on thing.
A little under the weather, but still as strong as can be. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So you go to the website and go to the registration page, and you'll find all the information you need for that. There is a draft this year, a 1-week draft. So that's part of the first week. And then make sure you get your stuff in. And we're still securing hotels and getting them as close as we can to the location. Got a new one or 2 that we're going to be using. Well, not a new one. One is brand new. It's not even open yet, but it will be by exposure time. And then another hotel we haven't used in a while we're back to. So we're looking forward to all those, and just a lot of neat things, and looking to continue to stay over that 3,000 mark, John.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're excited about that. Just one of our best lineup of keynote speakers I think we've ever had that are about to come. And I mean, every single one of the guys are home run guys. Mm-hmm. And so excited about that. Our theme is Reimagine Beauty. And so looking at the beauty of God's wonder from creation to salvation. So we're excited about that.
TJ Kirk, David Shannon, and Matt Miller.
Yep.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be an awesome time together, but we'll talk more about that in upcoming shows, because especially explaining that draft.
Yeah. We'll have an exclusive show just about that, but today is not the day for that. But
no. But we're glad to be back with everybody, Paul. We didn't necessarily, we weren't looking at this to be a forever long show. We got some exciting things that we're going to be doing with our show. What are you laughing at?
That's John's way of saying, I got to go. Something's happening. There's something bougie-ish is about to happen, and I don't want to miss it.
Honestly, I got to go to the bathroom right now. Other than that, nothing else. But no, we're going to be bringing our sports talk back into this as well.
Yeah.
Of course, and my goal is, everybody, we're going to get Paul to think about another college football team other than the University of Alabama. So that's my goal.
I didn't know there was another one. I got to be honest. I didn't know there wasn't.
Were you saying that in 1998 or 99 or 2000? Were you saying that back then?
I'm always saying that, John.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah, we do have a lot going on. The 12-team playoff system is in play. Saban is not, and so there's a lot of things going on there, and a lot of NIL is owning college football. It's
Ain't gonna happen. Way to go, Dale. Way to throw it up in here.
It's the college is now the minor leagues of the NFL. So,
well, and it's going to be interesting now also with the 16-team playoff. I mean, not playoff, 16-team SEC.
Oh, I was like, okay.
Yeah, the 16-team SEC.
Yeah, SEC is as big as they want to be.
You killed some rivalries. You opening up some others that are going to be interesting to come out.
What rivalry did we kill?
I'm sure there's some games that people enjoyed watching in there. I know as a Florida fan, there was a couple that, we were wondering we're going to lose Tennessee and LSU. And
did you lose Tennessee?
We did not this year. We did not this year.
We didn't either.
We added Texas. And I'll give SEC some props. They tried to keep a lot of those games together. Mm-hmm. But what it means is some of you got some tough games week after week after week.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
Well, we have Oklahoma, which I would rather trade with you because I'd rather play Texas because I think Alabama right now wants Texas more than they want Oklahoma. Not that they don't want Oklahoma. I think that's a W. But it's going to be a tough one as they'll be going up to their house for that. I'm sure Tyler Brassfield will appreciate me doing any kind of plug for them.
Yeah, we definitely don't. Florida has Texas this year, and part of that 5-game killer stretch at the end of the year that, if we can go 1-4 and probably be happy, or at least 2-3.
Now, the old ball coach said that y'all win about 9 or 10 games this year.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. It's just the unknown. What to expect from Florida is probably one of the biggest unknowns. I actually predicted us to go either 7-5, 8-4 is what I predicted Florida to go.
Realistic.
And so it's just a tough schedule. I mean, Florida right now is playing 8 of the top 25.
And Georgia's king of the hill, and rightfully so. They, as DeMarco Ryan says, that they make them NFL ready.
Hey, so, but Georgia, Alabama now this year. So there you go, Paul.
I guess I'm glad they're at home. Bama's at home for that one because if they were in Athens, that'd be tough. But it's going to be tough anyway. But it should be a good game, a good time. I just hope it's not a blowout.
Come on, Paul. You're supposed to be confident. You're telling me you're supposed to be confident here.
Have you seen Roderick Robinson? Have you seen him? He's beyond a man. He is the largest running back I've ever seen. I'm scared of him even through looking at him on a screen. So it is what it is. Carson Beck is going to do Carson Beck things, and Kirby knows what he's doing. So got to do a shout out to my Georgia brethren. I know they'll appreciate that. They're in for a good year. They are. They just are. Sorry, Gator fan.
Hey, college football does kick off.
Ask me to spread around. This is it.
Well, college football does kick off. Well, here's some Georgia love. College football does kick off this weekend with Florida State and Georgia Tech in Dublin, Ireland.
Ooh, I wonder.
Man, I wish they were playing next weekend because I would have been like,
Don't go there. I wonder who Georgia Bulldog fans will pull for in the Tech Florida State game.
Oh, I'm going to be a Georgia Tech. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure you will.
Be a Georgia Tech fan I got some Calhoun Yellow Jacket stuff around here I can wear and pretend I'm Georgia Tech.
After the garbage that was thrown at them during the bowl game last year and all the hoopla of Florida State is, number 1 in the world, and how dare you not put them in the playoffs when they got destroyed, embarrassed by the Bulldogs. And I wonder if they can actually pull for them against their in-state rival, Georgia Tech there. But we'll see.
Is he a bigger running back?
Probably. I mean, he's huge.
I thought the Georgia running back was supposed to be Trevor Etienne.
Oh, they got a stable full of them, man.
Since they came from Florida, that's a lot of Florida people don't like him right now. He's a traitor.
Sure, they would see it that way.
Yeah.
So. But in Athens, he's pretty good in there.
Nope. Dale, I'm afraid. I will say this. I'm making this prediction right now, Paul. And Dale, you can quote it on it as we're sitting here on the travel.
He will.
Florida goes 8-4. They are in the playoffs.
What'd you say?
If Florida goes 8-4 and those 4 losses are close games, Florida's in the playoffs. Mark my word.
I don't know.
With that schedule, and they beat a couple of big teams, they will be in the playoffs at 8-4.
What teams do you think they're going to beat?
I think we start off with Miami. That'll take care. I do think Florida will beat Florida State. I think they will beat LSU. That Georgia, Texas.
You think Florida's going to beat LSU?
Mm-hmm. That Georgia.
Nussmeier's no slouch.
Oh, I'm not saying he's
James Daniels either. Let's go there.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying he's out, but Florida does get LSU at home this year.
Oh, well, okay.
I think the 4 that I don't know, and I can't believe I'm saying this because if Jackson Dean ever watches this, he's going to flip out. I don't know about Tennessee.
Oh, my word.
Georgia and Jacksonville is going to be rough, going to be a tough game. Ole Miss and Texas. Those are the 4 that I don't know.
Dude, Ole Miss going to throw that dart at you. I'm just telling you. Mm-hmm. He's a good one.
Well, that's true. Jackson works a regular job now, so he's not out there anymore. But
he's a big boy now.
Yeah, those are the ones that concern me. I think Florida's getting A&M at a good time at the beginning of the year when they don't new coach, new system, everything else. Florida, I will say this: as long as Florida beats Miami, Florida State, and UCF, I'm good to go right now.
Oh. All right. One time coming up, because I know they start the week after we do, we need to do some predictions here on who we think is going to win the Super Bowl. We need to do the NFL football. We got fantasy football coming up. We got drafts happening. My draft's actually happening the Saturday we're gone. So
I think I watch hockey more than I watch NFL football.
What?
I don't watch NFL football.
Oh yeah,
bunch of trash.
Oregon fans will be happy to know that Bo Nix is the starting quarterback for the Broncos. So,
unbelievable.
You Auburn fans got your boy back in orange again. So good job there.
Unbelievable.
I guess there's no anything else. They say he's doing that. In fact, there's like a report card, ESPN did a report card of all these new quarterbacks coming out. Jaden Daniels reigns supreme and all those. Mm-hmm. But obviously, but they all seem to have been impressive during preseason. And John, this may be the last year of preseason if some people get their way. But it is interesting how that most quarterbacks, Russ Wilson included, they want to continue to play every game leading up to it. And that's a player.
Yeah.
A player wants to play the game. And I get to
play the game. Yep.
Gotta be careful because these games don't count. It helps to prepare,
sure,
to momentum, to get your rhythm going, but everything else, just be careful on that.
Yeah. Nebraska's coming back. Ah! Is he a Georgia boy? Yes, he technically went to Valdosta High School, didn't play, but he actually came from California, so nothing funny business going
on the baseball front. We won't say much about it because there's not much to talk about. But the Braves and Phillies have split so far.
The Braves are an infirmary with all the injuries that they have had.
There's no doubt about that. It's a shame. Wait, what it is. 2025 spring training right around the corner. Looking forward to it. John, what else you got before we get out of here?
I don't think I really got anything else right now, Paul.
Man, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It is. It's good. And it's good that you cleaned up the place. That's good. I appreciate that.
I did. You know, I moved to a new place, and so I wanted to leave my old picture up for this, and get in there for this last time. And then hopefully maybe, I'll get my new place out there for everybody to see.
The Taj Mahal. It's going to be great.
Taj Mahal.
It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go ahead and say this. Go to the website at ministryleague.com for anything you need and download the app. You go to the both sides when it comes to iPhone, iOS, and then Amazon for Android. Download the app, use it. We're all over social media. Thanks to Caleb so much for the plethora of options of podcasts. I think we're in the 50s now, and so thank you to him. And that's not 50 Joe shows. These are 50 pretty awesome things. We got something for everybody. Tune in, check it out. Love you, appreciate you. For Caleb, that's John Podein. This is Paul Spurlin. Thank you for being here for the John and Paul Show. We look forward to seeing you next time. Take care and God bless.